Hello, 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 and welcome to the Leen Show, episode 35 of the Leen Show.
Is that right?
That is right. Wally the emotional support alligator, is no longer with us. And you're laughing. You're laughing?
I didn't know you
Wally
had to
the
start with
emotional
that.
support alligator has gone missing, and you're laughing? Like Robert De Niro in The Joker.
No. It is really sad. It is really sad.
So if you guys haven't heard, I'm sure you have. It's been all over the news, all over the newspapers, the magazines, everything. Wally, the emotional support alligator, was kidnapped and put back into the wild, and he was taken away from his owner, forcefully kidnapped. He's been kidnapped. He's been trafficked. We don't know if Diddy is responsible, because I don't think he would have tried to fuck the alligator. I've heard in the YouTube algorithm you're supposed to avoid using like hard cuss words in the first like 5 minutes, so I shouldn't have said that. But it's rough. It's a rough story. It's not a feel good story. Me and Kathleen were sharing our condolences a couple days ago, but it's still something I think about all the time. If you're not familiar with Wally, the emotional support alligator, you gotta throw emotional in there. I keep saying the support, but like, what is he supporting? He's supporting his owner, whose name I cannot remember, is emotions. So if you guys don't remember, this was 5 or 6 months ago. One of our earlier episodes. It was a big story. I believe is a Philadelphia native, the owner of Wally. Wally was as well, like, because he's enough of a person where he deserves that distinction. His owner and Wally were trying to go to a Philadelphia Phillies game, if I remember right, and the Phillies staff was like, "That's a weird looking dog. I don't think we can allow that in." And he's like, "No, that's Wally." And they're like, "Absolutely not. We cannot let you in." And so, these videos started coming out of Wally just chilling on the grass, not harming a goddamn soul, just living his life, basking in the sun, eating Cheetos, getting petted, just living his best life.
Yeah.
And it really resonated with a lot of people. And, Wally became sort of internet famous. And those sick bastards at PETA, I think, let's just go with that.
Probably.
Those sick bastards at PETA said that animal is having too much fun, not in its natural habitat. That's wrong. He's being exploited. Now, me personally, if I got to bask in the sun and eat Cheetos all day, exploit me. Exploit me all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. If that's exploitation, sign me up, right? Those sick bastards.
Right.
Wally got kidnapped and put back into his natural habitat, some swamp somewhere. I don't know. I feel horrible for the owner, but I also feel horrible for Wally because he's gonna get bullied out there. He's not like the other alligators, Yeah. We've read children's book after children's book that depicts almost this exact same scenario, where he's, Wally is himself, and because of that, the other alligators who are insecure about themselves bully him and harass him. And Wally might just fucking die without Cheetos. He might just die. Like, he's not used to eat. What do alligators eat?
Beavers, deer.
He's
humans,
not used to eating beavers. He doesn't have the palate for beaver. And he's gonna get bullied by his other friends, being like, "Oh, look, Wally, we got some beaver over here," and he's like, "That's a weird looking Cheeto."
They're like, "Hey, Wally, we snagged a 3-year-old. Come get a bite. The thigh is real juicy."
And he's like, "No, I can't do that because the humans were nice to me, Like, he could never eat a
blood
human."
makes me so squeamish. I really don't like blood, you guys. Anytime I see blood, I pass out. No, actually, like, there is a good chance. I mean, they say this all the time, like, when, and not that this happens often in America, but it's like, oh, we're going to release XYZ from the zoo. It's like, oh, well, whenever they go back into their natural habitat, like, they have to get, like, reacclimated. Like in Madagascar, Madagascar escaped to Africa.
Absolutely.
Like, they get dropped in the middle of fucking Africa, and they have no idea what to do with themselves. So there is a chance, sadly. I would seem to think, because alligators are as close, and I've always heard this, and I think that it's true, but you know me, so it could be just
Close to
complete bullshit.
dinosaurs?
But alligators, yeah, they're like the closest, one of the closest ancestors to dinosaurs that we still have, like, living on Earth. And another thing is that they're just straight predators. Like, that's why when you're like, oh, what do alligators eat? Literally anything. Like they kill. Like, they live for the fucking game. They live for the kill. Like, it's not even sport to them. It's just pure fun. Like, they will kill anything that they come across. Like, they don't pick and choose. Like, they are straight predators. So I'm very curious, like, if Wally even has the ability to get reacclimated in the swamp. Like, you know, it's been so long. I would hope that those natural just killer instincts are just always there deep down, and like maybe he needs to get in a couple of tussles with the other alligators to get him to really come out. But there's also the chance that, you know, he flopped into the swamp and forgot how to swim and drowned. I highly doubt that, but
let's not put that out into the
taking a pause
universe.
here-
I don't want to live in that reality where that he just goes out there and immediately.
Yeah.
Let's pretend like Wally's at least he's at least surviving, right? He's not happy because
yeah.
he misses his cheesesteaks, he misses the sun, he misses Philadelphia. You know, he just wants to go back home, and maybe he will. You know, like a, you know, he's not a dog or a cat, but maybe he can kind of
Right.
slither his way back home. Maybe he knows the routes. Maybe he can hitchhike along the way. You know, that'd be a great redemption
Yeah.
story for Wally, the emotional support alligator. It sucks.
I did want to just. It does suck. It does suck. I did want to touch, and we don't have to harp on it, but I did want to touch just briefly on like the logistics of this whole situation, because like he was kidnapped, right? So it's like trying to picture that in your head. I googled the average weight of an alligator. The average weight of a male alligator is 500 pounds. So, and like from our last, you know, episode on Wally, he was being walked around via a leash. Right? So I would say he was more so being guided. You know, you can't drag a 500-pound alligator. So, like, logistic-wise for the kidnapping, how did this go down? Like, did they lead him out of the house with Cheetos or, you know, a headless toddler? Like, how did they just inch him out of the house? Obviously, they can't pick him up, put him in a box. His owner would have heard, like, all of this. Like, I'm very curious, like, how the actual kidnapping went down. Maybe has his owner came out. I feel like his owner's name was Joe, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, yes. Great memory. So, I don't want to interrupt.
Was I right?
Yes, I have a...
No. Go ahead.
I have an NPR article talking about this from May 3rd, written by Rachel Treisman. Thank you, Rachel. Doing God's work.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel.
The headline is, "Have you seen this emotional support gator? Wally's owner says he's lost in Georgia." So, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Georgia, you say?
So... his name's Joey Henney, which is an awesome name. Joie. I guess that's how they do it up there. Joey is the owner. So Joey and Wally were visiting friends in Brunswick, Georgia, when someone took the gator from his pen in the early morning hours of April 21st. The Wally Gator Facebook page posted on Saturday. Quote, "Wally was stolen by some jerk who likes to drop alligators off into someone's yard to terrorize them," the account posted the following day. So are we dealing with kids? Are we dealing with hoodlums? Are we dealing with delinquent children who think it's funny to kidnap emotional support alligators and put them in their friends' front yards? That's worse than PETA. That's worse.
Yeah. Fucking balls on those kids. Alligators, maybe it's just me, but they're freaking terrifying to me. Like, if I ever see an alligator, like, I don't even like getting close to them at the zoo or the alligator farms. Like, they're freaking terrifying to me. And they can run, too. They can pick that ass. They can pick that thick tail up, and they can run faster than you'd ever imagine.
And it's, like, a gator moving full speed at you on land, absolutely terrifying. Terrifying.
They roar, too. They've got, like, a deep, like, guttural, like, roar. People that aren't from Florida don't know fucking shit about alligators. That's the problem. Also,
need to be
where
educated.
was it in Georgia? I want to see.
It was in Brunswick, Georgia.
I want to see how close. Brunswick. Oh, it's way. Oh, he's a good 4.5. Yeah. Wow, very watery. Oh, it's so far in Georgia. It's on the Atlantic. I forget that Georgia goes that far east. Wow. Georgia's a big ass state. Damn.
Man.
All right. Sorry.
I'm
amazed by geography.
If we keep talking about this, then it's gonna ruin the rest of my day. So
yeah.
But let's.
We just wanted to update the fans, right? That was the whole point.
I mean,
we just wanted to update the fans.
Absolutely, we're all about informing here, and if there's an update to a story we might not even like, that's the thing about journalism is you still got to tell the story that should be told. If you want to end on an uplifting note. As of Friday, nearly 400 people had donated more than $10,000 to an online fundraiser supporting travel costs, advising costs, and possible legal and veterinary costs related to Wally's disappearance. Now, even if Wally is never found, Joey should just get to keep that money as like hey man, like, it's like when someone's like unlawfully jailed for like 10, 15 years and they get out and they get like $15 million. It's sort of, it's not that big of a deal, but it's pretty similar where it's like, dude, I think you like, let's cut you a check. Like, I think you deserve this. Like, you might not have another Wally, but at least you'll be able to like buy another Wally and then maybe like several hundred cheesesteaks after that, right? Whatever you want to spend your money. I don't know what people in Philadelphia care about or buy. Maybe he can buy Phillies season tickets. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. So restitution, anything like that. Wally, if you're listening, come home safe. We miss you. Wally, come home. Like Gary, come home. SpongeBob.
Oh my God.
I mean, we've seen this happen before, right? So.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the main topic of the day, what we're gonna do here is obviously we really like to find TikTok freaks. We need to workshop that. I don't like that. I don't like calling these people freaks, even though most of them are. It's a little harsh of a word, but like interesting TikTok people and pages. Like really seeing the great thing about TikTok. One of them is people are very comfortable being themselves on this app because there's so many people out there that they will probably find validation in whatever weird thing they're into or whatever strange thing happened in their life that is pretty unique and things like that. So we like to talk about these people a lot. Now, what I do in my For You page is definitely they know that they know this. They know that I love to find these videos. So they feed me all kinds of videos like this. And this is going to be the director's cut of TikTok personality of the week. I don't think any of these people or stories could justify being its own episode. One of them maybe could, but because it's too recent, there's not enough of this content out there, and we'll get to that person. Pretty crazy story. But there's just not enough content on her page right now talking about this to justify making a whole episode out of it. So we're gonna do a bit of a rapid fire. All right. So, I have 5 TikTok people. 5. They're pretty different each one, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna do pretty much what we do, where we watch it and we react and make jokes and stuff. But Kathleen, I'm gonna give you what I have written down in my phone, there you go, of the 5 TikTok people I want to talk about, and you can choose what order we go in. All right.
Okay. 4 was really like speaking to me, so let's start with number 4.
Did you see what it said?
No, I can't. I saw your. Was I supposed to see what it said?
No. I was gonna read out like the very small descriptions, and you could choose, or you could go random. You want to just go random?
Oh. Yeah, let's just go random. All right, let's go 42135.
42135. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 4, it's a bit of a visual joke, so we're gonna have to describe it, and this is like just one TikTok. A couple of these are multiple. This is just one. So.
Okay.
Sharing my screen. This is my TikTok like page you're looking at right now. It's one of the most unholy places on the internet. It's just this list of content here. It's a mix of like sports things and then like skits I thought were funny, and then just some of the craziest people that probably exist on this planet. So here we go. So you chose number 4, which is this one right here. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. So I don't think we can play that song. I think it's probably copyrighted. I don't know what the song is. But for the audio listeners, which is most of y'all, it's there's a trend going on right now that's basically, it's like some country song or something, and it's, well, the devil can scrap, but the Lord has won. And it's people talking about like their glow ups, their transformations. And it's a lot of like white Christians doing it. So what we have here is the first picture is of a furry suit. It's a blue it's a blue and black cat of some sort in a full furry suit in a hotel room, and she's like doing some kind of playful, she's like scratching her face or something. Like it's a very intricate furry costume. And then the second picture,
and
what was that?
She was also like grabbing her cooch.
Yes, she is. She's also she's grabbing her private parts. And the second picture is of a very normal like white girl in a summer dress, and it said, "But the Lord has won." And she's holding what looks like a pink Bible. Now, this is interesting for many different ways. The main thing I find interesting is usually this is the other way around, right? Usually, for people who grow up in the church and grow up around religion, and specifically like strict households and strict religion that like limit a lot of kids in their formative years, where like the things that they might be interested in, whether it be like secular music or, you know, like culture movements that are considered like not secular by the secular and not secular, just meaning like it's about God or it's not about God. Usually, if kids grow up in this environment, they like repress things that they wanted to do. So then later in life, when they like go to college or get a job and move out from their parents' house and get away from the church, they like embrace those things like times 10 and like really go out on a limb and are very unique. This seems to be,
it comes out in weird ways.
Yes. This seems to be a girl grew up in, I don't know, a non-religious household, and her parents were like, "Oh, you want to be a furry? Fuck yeah. Yeah, do that. That's awesome."
Right.
And then she's like, "Cool, I'm going to be a furry." And then later in life, she's like, "No, I'm going to devote my life to our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I'm going to go to church every Sunday and be like a very normal Christian woman." That I find that
she's cute.
I find that very interesting.
I think I have those shoes. Those pink shoes. I've been staring at them this entire time. I'm pretty sure I have those little pink slip-on. They have like a little heel. They're cute. I think I have them. Yeah, no, this is definitely interesting. I'm laughing at the comments because multiple people, which people sometimes do this, like they'll see like a comment that like has either already blown up or is gonna blow up, and then they just copy it, like thinking like their comment will also blow up. But a lot of the comments, like, so for example, one says, "You could not waterboard this information out of me. You could not torture this out of me. I wouldn't even reveal this on my deathbed." Like, so I'm guessing a lot of people are like, "Oh, like I'm secretly a furry. Like I would never actually like reveal myself."
And if you want to give her credit, at least she's like living her truth, right?
Yeah.
She's like, she is putting this out
she got
there.
up.
Because like she would never. I wonder how her church feels about this. Where they're like, did you see what Alexandra put on her TikTok? And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Dude, she was a furry like 3 years ago."
Right.
And you're like, "What?"
But the Lord, but as the caption said, the Lord has won.
The Lord has won.
So congratulations, Alex.
That's about it.
Dead silence. That's about it. Hey, it's rapid fire. It's rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Congratulations. I wonder if she sold the suit, because they're like, I don't know if you know this, but like full like real furry suits are like several $1,000s.
Really?
They're very expensive. I mean, because they're like a full. I mean, you're buying like 5 to 5.5 feet of like fur, and they're very intricately made.
Yeah.
Like, because the idea is basically like you dress up like a real life cartoon character, like a real life animal, like animal. I was about to say animatronic, anamorphic, like animal that like talks and walks like a cartoon character. Like they're not cheap. So I wonder. Now I do see a stuffed animal behind her. That's interesting. I wonder if that's like the one remnant of her, so she can never forget her past life. Like she sold the suit, but she got like a little stuffed animal made of her fursona. They're called fursonas, Fursona. I know a lot about furries for no particular reason. And I wonder if that's like her reminder, being like, I have this to remember that time in my life, but now, like, maybe like, you know, she's doing her nightly reading of the Bible, reading Psalms, maybe singing some songs. She closes it. She's about to go to bed. And she looks at the stuffed animal and she's like, I'm in a better place now. Like, yeah, I tell you what, her church probably smells a lot better than furry conventions do. I'll say that. Am I wrong?
Can't imagine.
A lot, you know, church.
I can't even imagine.
I mean, can you imagine, like, yeah, just these people just covered in fursuits, in like, because these conventions happen in like the summer. Imagine going to like Orlando in like July and putting on like a full furry suit and going to a convention center that probably doesn't have great air conditioning and just walking around. That's essentially, that was her previous life. But she's born again. Good for you, Alexandra. Live your best life. I wonder, well, actually, I don't wonder. I was about to say, like, I wonder if this, like, how early this comes up when she goes on dates. Is this like this can't be a first date reveal. Yeah. It's got to be like third or fourth, you know, maybe you've like spent the night at each other's apartments or houses at least once. It's pretty serious. You're exclusive. And Alexandra sits down her partner and goes, I have to tell you something. They're like, what? And they're like, I used to be a furry. And they're like, yeah, I know. I saw your TikTok. Like, it has 400,000 likes. So you're not really hiding it.
You're kidding. It has 400,000 likes? You're
393.4, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And yeah, I mean, given how, I mean, depends on the level of Christianity she has entered into. I mean, that could not come out until the wedding. Right? Just depends.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, because what I said, that could not be true. Like, she could be she could have gone so far the other way, where, you know, like she's like just straight up looking for marriage. So she's like, you know, because she could maybe there was like chaperones at her first couple dates, you know, like shout out PCC, shout out Pensacola Christian College. Like, this is not like this could be a scenario where, like, she's like dating to marry, and she doesn't even like really know the guy or the girl, you know, whatever. She doesn't really know who her partner actually is. She just knows that they're religious like her, and they go to church together, and they talk about their favorite Bible verses, and you know they talk about the time that David beat Goliath, and they're like, wasn't that awesome? I don't know, like, whatever you talk about. And then afterwards, like, her partner finds out this information. So that's one. Pretty cool. Okay. That the main point of interest there was usually goes the other way. Usually you start religious and then find some niche hobby later. Other way around. Good for her, Alexandra. Live your truth. Live your life. So that's number 4. Number 2. Now, this could go on for 10 minutes or 5 seconds. I really don't know. Let's figure this out together. So number 2 is, I wrote this one down as the fake Boy Scout. All right? The fake Boy Scout. Okay. Check this one out.
Did you serve in the Boy Scouts of America?
Currently 27 years.
Oh, wow. Thank you for your service.
You're welcome, sir.
Appreciate that. What's your name?
Sergeant Tommy Doyle.
Sergeant Tommy Doyle. Cool. What troop were you in?
Troop 13.
Yeah.
Stationed out of Middleborough.
Oh, Troop 13, Middleborough. I've heard of
Sir.
Troop 17, Middleborough.
Yeah, well, I was transferred from 17 into 13.
Oh, okay. Well, you got your Order of the Arrow, too, I see.
Yes, sir. Yep, the flaming arrow.
Flaming Arrow, that's not what it's called.
Yeah.
You know it's supposed to be under your right lapel, right?
Under my lapel.
Yeah. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, this thing right there.
No, that's your collar. Your lapel is this thing right here, but that's all right. Happens to the best of us, right? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think you're in the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, 27
Your
years.
uniform, it's all out of whack. You're not wearing your BSA issue approved socks. Look, you know this is illegal, man. It's a crime to be out here
No, I'm
pretending to be a Boy Scout.
Giving
It's
tours.
called stolen valor.
Like, I guess this will be more of a 10. This is more than 5 seconds. There's a lot to unpack here. Could you imagine the life journey it would take to be a man in your 40s? Let's just say 40s. To be a grown man in your 40s and be like, God, the coolest thing I could be is a Boy Scout. So I'm gonna like fake being a Boy Scout and then literally talk about it like you're in the military. Like, oh, I was transferred from Troop 17 to Troop 13. And then also, maybe even crazier, you find a guy who's like the Boy Scout debunker.
Actually, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Wait, sorry. No, I thought you were going to finish your thought. Yeah, so obviously the guy that's like trolling him either just knows a bunch about a Boy Scout shit or like actually is a Boy Scout himself, right? Because he's like calling him out on like X, Y, and Z. I couldn't tell. I thought that this, like, it's hard for me to accept that this guy's faking it. But, like, obviously, like, that's, like, the point, right? Like, I feel like he's a legit Boy Scout. You don't think he is? You think that he's literally, like, faking it and just walking around?
Do you think this guy is just like making shit, like he's like making shit up, being like, oh, it goes under your right lapel? Actually, the sash arrow, it's actually just called the red arrow. It's not called the flaming arrow. He's like correcting him on such specific things. It would be maybe even crazier for this guy to just press a real Boy Scout on like how the uniform is supposed to work. He's like, you're not wearing your BSA issued socks. It's like so specific, but at the same time, it is like pretty hilarious to like confront this guy, and you can kind of tell in the guy's demeanor. At first he's like smiling and bubbly, he's like, yep, I'm a Boy Scout, very proud of it. And then kind of by the middle to the end, he's like, like the smile goes away. You can start to slowly see the color draining from his face, and it's almost like he's been caught, right? He got like confronted. Like he looks guilty. I'll say specifically around like look at like 35 seconds right here. Just look at like his demeanor. It's immediately changed. You can't really see his eyes because of the hat, but you can kind of if you could see his eyes, you could kind of tell that he might know. He looks a little guilty. He might know that he's finally been caught. The ruse is up. Like, yes, being a Boy Scout is one of the coolest things you can do. Obviously, everyone knows that. And he's like, damn, maybe I am stealing valor. It is also really funny for a guy to be like, this is pretty serious, dude. You're stealing valor from the Boy Scouts. I don't think, and I think how I know that the guy confronting him is legit is because he's using the acronym of the Boy Scout Association. I assume that's what the A stands for. He's like,
BSA,
he's like, dude, the BSA would not be happy with this. Like, you're not wearing...
Or Boy Scouts of America.
Thank you. Boy Scouts of America. That's probably what it is. Sir, you're wearing tight compression socks. We all know the BSA approved socks are white with the official BSA logo. That's not cool, dude.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, and I mean, even this guy's hashtags, hashtag stolen valor, hashtag military, hashtag Boy Scouts, hashtag US Army, hashtag Air Force. So, like, maybe he, like, actually is a big military guy. Like, you know what I
that's
mean?
wild.
Like, it's hard to tell. It's, like, borderline, like, if this guy is, like, being, like, legit so serious, like, stolen valor, or if he's just, like, a complete troll. I kind of feel bad for the Boy Scout guy, though.
Oh, I do,
like, whether
too.
the valor was stolen or not.
It's not illegal to steal
he's
the
just
valor
getting-
of a Boy Scout. Like yes, it is kind of
Right.
weird that you're like a grown-ass man and you're like stealing valor from like a 12-year-old basically. Like you're cosplaying as like a 12-year-old Boy Scout when in reality you're
Right.
like in your 40s and maybe you were never even in the boy. Like, is it hard to get in the Boy Scouts? Like, was he like rejected as a Boy Scout when he was 12, and so he's like, well, I'm just gonna like research and learn everything about the BSA so that I can impersonate one good enough so I can get all those great societal values, right? I mean, it's not like he gets to like board the plane early. It's not like he gets like a military discount. Like, he's a Boy Scout.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know much about it. I know that, like, getting to Eagle Scout level is, like, pretty relatively serious, so I wouldn't imagine that it's hard to get into the Boy Scouts of America. It probably just, like, takes a lot of, like, work / dedication / hours to, like, make your way to Eagle Scout. But even then, I'm pretty sure, like, all that ends at 18. So it is odd that this guy is taking on this persona. He's probably mentally ill. I've been saying that about everybody today. That's
yeah.
like the third person. That's like my like thing. I'm like, oh, like one person is not exactly like me, so I'm like, oh, they're mentally ill.
I mean, it's one thing to not be like you, and then it's another thing. And also, by the way, the guy confronting him probably not the most mentally secure guy in the world either, because he's walking
Sure.
around like he's filming a guy being like, oh,
Yeah,
oh,
camera in
really?
the
Oh,
fucking
you're a Boy
face.
Scout? What's Section 3 Code 4 in the official BSA handbook?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy. It's both sides is crazy. If there were more videos of this guy, if there was like maybe, I think his name's Tommy Doyle. That's the guy's name. He's like Sergeant Tommy Doyle of Troop 13. And then even the guy knowing like, sir, the official troop in that area is 17. That's crazy.
Right.
How do you know that?
Right.
That's crazy. I think the most likely scenario here probably is when Tommy was 11 or 12. He was like, Mommy, I want to be a Boy Scout. And she's like, Tommy, you're not cut out for it. Like, me and your father work nights. There's no way we can drive you to these meetings. Like, I'm sorry, we just can't afford to go on the retreats. We can't afford for you to get your, or origami badge or whatever. Whatever. We can't afford to send you to these camps so that you can like be good at archery. Like, I'm sorry, we just can't do it. So then later in life, Tommy got a little money and he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to go on Etsy and buy fake Boy Scout badges and a fake Boy Scout uniform so that I can get all of the good shit that comes with being a Boy Scout as an adult. Because like stolen valor is like, at the very least, like, America seems to support their troops. And so if you're stealing valor of like a Marine or like a Navy guy, then at the very least, like, oh, you get a military discount and you get to board the plane early, like I said, or, you get a lot of like salutes. Thank you for your service. No one's walking up to him being like, damn, you're a Boy Scout? That's so cool, man. Nice.
Right.
Can I buy you dinner? Can I buy you a beer? Like, no, they're not going to do that. Very interesting dynamic going on here. I've said this before in previous episodes, but like the average person in America right now they're not doing well. Like, if you're not like pretty secure, or if you're not lucky enough to get like a decent job and live in a place where you like, and if you weren't lucky enough to like find a partner that loves you and you can kind of build a life around, if you kind of slip through the cracks of like these pillars and this stability that a lot of people have, you go down some very interesting paths mentally. And this guy's path is he reverted all the way back to 5th grade, and he's just like living his truth as a 45-year-old fake Boy Scout.
Yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Depressing, but true.
Very depressing, I think. So that's Tommy Doyle, Sergeant Tommy Doyle. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to get anything incorrect. Yeah, he's a. Do they have sergeants in the Boy Scouts?
Sergeant Tommy Doyle. I have no clue.
Is that even a thing? I don't know. But thank you for your service, Tommy. Even if you didn't serve, you did enough. Like, hey man, like I'll thank you for your service. I'll say, hey dude, nobody can carve wood like you can, right? Whatever
Right.
Boy Scouts do, I don't know.
They like race those. I forget what it's called. They race those wooden cars.
The box cars, right?
It's called.
No.
No, there's another name for them. I can't think of it right now. But like they build these wooden cars and they race them, and there's like all these regulations. But that's the only thing I really know.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for your service, Tommy. You said 42135. So we've hit on the Christian furry. We've hit on the fake Boy Scout. This one, I've had this one up my pocket for a while. I love this guy. I don't know if it's a character or not. I think it might be, but I don't care. This guy is so funny to me. So this in my phone is written down as rap music guy, and because it doesn't reveal the twist, but it's a guy who is hyper focused on rap music, specifically in a negative way. So I have two videos from this guy. Let's take a look. All right, this one is 5.9 million views. This is the one that really blew him up. Check this out.
They're playing rap music at Whataburger. It's just unprofessional. It's not necessary. Maybe I should have taken my food to go. I just don't know why they would play this kind of music at Whataburger. Now I can't enjoy my sandwich with this music playing or my apple pie. I gave this place another chance and they did this to me. Maybe I should just retire. Maybe I should just leave and never come back. Not a way to start the year off.
I'm glad that the top comment read my mind, but yeah, obviously it's 21 Pilots playing in the background.
It's 21 Pilots.
Let me jump in. I don't think that I do think this is a character. I think that this is a very I'm going to overanalyze this. I think this is a very meta like take on how 21 Pilots isn't actually rap music. Like I think that this guy cuz it's like 21 Pilots like yeah, do you consider them rap? Is what they do for like 10 to 20 seconds in some of their songs rap? I feel like it's just them like actually just like having an open dialogue. Like there's no like rhythm. There's no like, it's literally just like their main singer like being like, when I was 7, me and my brother had the same nose and we played in a treehouse and then I made a candle that smelled like the treehouse. Like that's literally like actually like very accurately their lyrics. Like that's accurately their lyrics. So I feel like he is making a play on how 21 Pilots isn't rap music, but people say that they're rap. That's my take jumping in. That's how I'm analyzing it.
I think you're almost there. I totally agree. I think what makes this kind of a character, and there's a second video we'll watch in just a second, where I think he's trying to go viral, and I think he's kind of figured out that if he like maybe he just doesn't like rap or general in his life, and that's kind of how it started. Mm-hmm. But it's like if they were playing like a Drake or Lil Wayne song, and he's just like, oh my God, they're playing rap music at Whataburger. Like, can you believe this? I can't even enjoy my food now. It's ruined. It would be like, okay, yeah, that's weird. But then you kind of move on. A lot of things that go viral, they have that twist. They have that like other element. And for this and the second video that we're about to watch, the other element is it's not even rap music that he's being mad about. Like, it's literally something that could maybe be considered maybe kind of R&B. Maybe it's got like electric drums and it has like a beat. It's not like punk or it's not like alt rock. It's like somewhere adjacent between pop, R&B, and rap, like kind of somewhere in those three categories. And he realizes like, oh man, like this is what's going to get people going.
Yeah.
So this is the other one. And also like for the audio listeners, it's him like cringing, being like, ugh, oh, like he's like physically hurting from the 21 Pilots being played on the speakers. He's like, oh, he's in like physical distress over this music. It's just him shaking
They're
his head.
playing rap music at a wing place. Now I can't enjoy my food. I can't enjoy my rap with this rap music. I should have ticket to go. Here we go again, people. Here we go again.
And it's
This guy's
it's
funny.
Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake, if you can't hear it.
Yeah, it's JT.
That's
Oh, I could hear it.
Yeah.
I know JT anywhere.
And he's just like shaking his head like, are you kidding me right now? Really? They're playing rap music at a freaking wing place. And it's I mean, I guess Pharrell produced this beat, and I guess technically he's a rap and R&B producer. I guess you could consider this R&B. Yeah, it's R&B. Like a pop R&B.
Yeah.
But it's specifically the guy has just I think it is a bit, because he's figured out like basically I guess now every time he goes to a restaurant and they're playing like a pop rap, not even rap really, a pop R&B song, he can make this video just shaking his head being like, where has society gone? What happened to the country I used to love? They're playing rap music at a wing place, which as if that should have any logic behind it, as if like that's something that's just so crazy that like a Buffalo Wild Wings would be playing rap music, even if that was rap music. It's like it's not really that crazy. I don't know.
Well, and this guy's definitely like doing a bit, because in the comments, the top comment is Buffalo Chicken Rap. Justin Timberlake is not rap music, and he just responds, "It is."
What is his
Did you
definition
see
of
that?
not rap music? Like, does it have to
He
have?
goes, "It is."
Yeah, it is. Does it have?
It
does
is.
it have to have like a like? Is anything that's not rock rap? Is it just like a binary? Like it's rap or not rap? And the things that are not rap are like you have to have like a full band, and there has to be like the only drums have to be played like from a drum kit. And if there's any singing, there needs to be like a guitar riff over it. And if there's not, then that's rap music. And I'm going to freak the fuck out.
Right.
I'm going to lose my mind
Right.
inside of this Buffalo Wild Wings if the song has any semblance of rap or R&B.
Sounds like his rule book to me.
You know, good. I mean, shout out to him. Like, he's getting social media numbers. You know, I'm sorry that he's being tormented like this. You know, I think it's kind of. I think you know. I think he should file for some kind of disability where he can walk into a restaurant, hand him a piece of paper, and be like, "Look, I'd love to eat at your establishment, but I just have one rule. I just have one thing that I have to reveal right now, and if you don't abide by this, I'm gonna blow you up on my TikTok." And they're like, "What's that?" And it's like, "You can't play any rap music like the one playing right now." And they're like, "Sir, this is Rihanna." They're like, "Yeah, exactly. What do you mean?" Yeah, exactly. Duh. What do you like? That's what I'm talking about. Number 3 on the list is next. And this is the one that probably could be its own segment fully. The problem is the person, the woman who's posting about this thing she's like a pretty big TikToker. She has 362,000 followers. She makes like a lot of like other stuff. She has like videos. She has like a weird cat that gets like a ton of views from like cat people. She has like a cookie recipe that has like 7.2 million views. So this is like only one of the things that she posts about. And she only has 2 or 3 TikToks about this thing specifically. But it's crazy. It's pretty wild. There's just not enough content of it out there. And she's literally been posting about it more recently. I think I just saw Yeah, so there's, you just saw that, right? Like the really big book right there. This is what we're talking about here. So she just,
No, you need to refresh your screen.
there we go.
Okay, now I see.
So this right here, the listing of my phone is fake religion. So I'll let her reveal it. She can say it better than I can. So let's take a look.
It's time for an FAQ on the holy text that my schizophrenic grandfather wrote for the religion that he created. I kind of skimmed through the comments on my last video and I want to touch on the points that I feel like I saw the most, so let's go. The official name of the religion is the Church of Lord Messiah Jesus Christ of Millennial Day Saints, which if you know about Mormonism,
Millennial
it's
Day
extremely
Saints is
similar
so
to their
wild.
name. It's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Again, that was the last religion that he joined before he started writing this. And if you know anything about Mormon lore and how it was founded, Joseph Smith, the founder of the Mormon Church, decided that there was no true religion on the face of the earth, so he created his own. And my grandpa kind of had the opposite idea, where he kind of felt like all of the religions were right. They were like connected in this through line throughout history. So the way this book is set up, it's a chronological book of all the prophets throughout time from Adam to Ezra Taft Benson. The book is 2,242 pages long, 50 of which are the table of contents, and it's broken up into 7 different epics throughout history. So as I said, my grandfather handwrote all of this and my grandma was the one that typed it all up. She actually used to work as a medical transcriptionist, so she would work on this while she was at work. And so there's no digital copy in existence. She hand
What are we
typed
fucking
it.
paying
And they
people
actually
for?
created their own publishing company to get it self-published. So they're
Okay, we'll watch the rest of it in a second, but let's stop right there. For the audio listeners, imagine the biggest book you've ever seen in your life, and then probably double that, and then that's the size of the book she's holding. It's actually comical. It looks like the rules in The Fairly Odd Parents, but like longer and bigger. It's the largest book I've ever seen in my life. It's got like a black cover with like gold kind of text on the outside. It looks like a religious text. It looks like a Bible. And basically, like she explained, she had a grandfather with schizophrenia, and this guy was a part of several different religions throughout his life. He was a Mormon, he was a Christian, I think a couple others. And he thought that it was on him, it was his goal in life, his calling, to combine every religion into one and create his own church that basically says, no, all religions are right, and we're going to talk about and appreciate all of them. And God bless his wife, this woman's grandma. God bless her, because he handwrote 2,242 pages of this religious text, and she typed every single word of it up. They also started their own publishing company to get the book published, because obviously nobody's going to publish that. And pretty crazy. I don't know. Pretty wild.
Yeah, I have the entire Game of Thrones series. I'm staring at it right now. And all of George R.R. Martin's books that are known for being insanely long, stacked together, are still not as big as this book. Also, like, I'm sorry, but I made this comment earlier. Like, what are we fucking paying people for? Like, shouldn't you be transcribing, like, on behalf of the medical community? Like, that, like, you know, our government, my taxes are going to, my fucking taxes, my Georgia state income tax went to pay your grandma's salary, and she's sitting there typing this up for your schizophrenic grandfather. That pisses me off. That was not what America was built on.
That's correct.
Sorry, rant off. But no, honestly, what's scary about this to me is, like, if you and I, like, really spent some time and read this, I bet it makes a lot of fucking sense. Like, I bet this is one of those texts where, you know, you get a couple chapters deep, and you're like, holy shit. Like, am I starting to, like, really believe this?
Yeah, I mean, she says, I think later in this video, if we want to watch the rest of it or not, I think she says that pretty much nobody in the world has ever read the full thing except for him who wrote it and his wife who typed it, because only 4 copies are in existence, and they're all like within her family. And as far as she knows, nobody else in her family has ever actually read it. They've like skimmed through it maybe like once or twice, but nobody in the world has ever actually read it. So maybe that's why they couldn't get it published, because maybe somebody read the first couple 100 pages and was like, this information can't get out there. This is too dangerous. Like, this is
right.
Like, this guy's got something here, and the power that he would hold if this got out would be far too much for the general public to take. Like, religious institutions would be coming after him left and right. I mean, he would be poaching. I mean, because think about the power. He's encompassing every religion. Imagine, like, imagine Islam and Judaism and Christianity and all the subsects of Christianity. Just all of them uniting under one church ran by a guy with schizophrenia, which I'm sure Joseph Smith had too, or something weird, because that's, like, you're mentally healthy people don't necessarily want to start religions and be cult leaders. Probably not. That's probably my take on that. So I also love how it's called, it's like basically like the Church of Latter-day Saints, like whatever the full name is, and he just stole the name and just put millennial there. Kind of ahead kind of ahead of his time on that one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Because he's definitely not a millennial. This girl's a millennial. Her grandfather was absolutely a boomer, I'm assuming.
Maybe even older. Maybe even like
yeah, maybe even
is
older.
that Greatest Generation before boomers? I think so. Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's what it's called. So, I mean, let's so she goes through the table of contents in the next book. Or in the next TikTok. Let's take a look at that.
Today we're going to go through the table of contents for the holy text that my schizophrenic grandfather wrote for the religion that he created. As I previously stated, the table of contents of this book is 50 pages long, and it is formatted as a chronological history of what my grandfather believed to be all the prophets throughout history, starting at Adam and ending at Ezra Taft Benson, who was the Mormon prophet at the time this book was finished. Hopefully I stop on each page long enough where you can read it if you want to, but it should give you a pretty good idea of the
What? Do I
contents
have
of this
fucking
book.
supervision? Like, you think I can read that shit? That's crazy. Sorry, that's like off topic, but like nobody can read that. You're turning the damn pages so fast.
So, yeah, it's...
Can you read any of that?
Probably not if I didn't pause it, but I just paused it right here. I mean, it's a table of contents. It's not going to be super interesting. But on this page here, Hiram, king of Tyre, enters into a contract with Solomon to provide Lebanese timber to cedar and fir in exchange for wheat and oil. That's one page. Solomon and the Shamir, Ashmedai, the king of the demons, his capture and encounter with Solomon, laying of the foundation of the house of the Lord, its dimensions, etc. How does this guy, like, there's no way this is accurate, like fully accurate.
No.
Because how could one man possess the full knowledge of every single prophet and exactly what they did and exactly how they realized they were a prophet and like all of this? How could one guy basically be an expert of every religion ever created?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
You aren't. You aren't, and you can't. You're a schiz, and you're schizophrenic. I shouldn't use the derogatory term schiz that I like to use. I don't think I've trademarked that, by the way. Don't come for me, but I've TM schiz is a word that I've come up with. It's just short for schizophrenic. It's not derogatory. It's just slang. It's a little bit of slang.
You don't need the rest of those vowels. Right, you don't need. You don't need
the tons of consonants. Yeah, no, actually, tons of vowels. Yeah, I mean that's the disease though, right? Like that's the beauty of being a schiz is things just come to you, like, you know what I mean? Like you wake up and you just have these visions and thoughts and knowledge and people speaking to you and people telling you things and you jot them down and next thing you know you have a 3,000 page book about the religion you created.
It's kind of crazy too because she says it's 2,224 pages, maybe 2,242, something like that. And it looks like more, doesn't it?
It does look like more. It does, yeah, because then when I was thinking about it, like the average Game of Thrones book, but it also depends on like how many words are on a page, right? It like really depends on the formatting. So like theirs probably looks larger because the words are probably a little bit bigger and the book itself is bigger. So like if the book itself is bigger and the words are bigger, there's going to be a lot more pages. I mean, they still look pretty small to me, but like one of my Game of Thrones books, you know, Storm of Swords is like over 1,000 pages, but that looks like 3 Storm of Swords combined together.
Yeah. I would say because like it's probably not like a picture book because his wife transcribed it. So I would assume that it's just words on words and then like a little bit of formatting. But it's just it's crazy. Maybe it's like a really big font, right? Maybe they like raise the margins like, you know, high school college essay style. where like you try to meet a page requirement. I don't know. Like it looks like at least double 2,200 pages. It looks like way more than that. But again, you know, I mean, I'll take her word for it. I mean, it looks, I mean, you can kind of, I just went to like the very end where she just goes through like the entire table of contents, which is 50 pages, by the way, that she said that in the last one. It's a 50-page table of contents, which is pretty wild. Like, but you can see like they're all formatted specifically with like the pages in mind. And so that's probably how she got that number. Crazy. I don't know. I don't really.
No, this is nuts.
I don't really know how to feel about this. I don't want to read it because like I think the idea of reading it is way more interesting than actually the practice of reading it. Like the actual practice would be you sit down and like imagine how discouraging that must be if you're like, all right, page 1 of this book, and then you just see what's ahead of you and you're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna finish this, right?
Yeah.
So
it's probably why no one has.
I'm sure, because it's just too much, right? And I'm sure, like, if he wrote it, then I'm sure it's probably as, like, schizophrenic as the idea, where it's, like, it just jumps from thing to thing. It's probably not super well organized. Like, it just goes crazy places, you know? God, I mean, imagine how many typos are in this book, too. Like, imagine how many, like, miscapitalizations, misspelled words.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to be littered throughout. It's because it's not like this has been proofread many times. It's just too long.
Right. That's a good point.
So, I don't know. If there's, like, more crazy content from Mild West Sammy about this, we might revisit it later in a smaller segment. Because there's just not, like... I think because this is getting, like, a lot of traction. So, I think she'll probably post more and more about this now. I would love to just see like what the actual pages look like maybe get like some excerpts from random parts of the book and just see if we're right about that. Like, let's see if it makes like any sense at all actually reading it, or maybe it does. Maybe it's like this incredible religious text that has just been, you know, kept by her family for years and years, and, you know, finally got, you know, funny how life works, his granddaughter becomes TikTok famous and then accidentally creates the religion that he was never able to. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen here. Keep tabs on Mild West Sammy and the Christ Church of Latter-day Millennials, or whatever it was called. Whatever. For the last rapid fire of the day, number 5, the one, and I will say you did thematically. I know you weren't trying to do this, but like the pacing of these from one to the other is actually very good, because, you know, we kind of ease into it with the furry, and then we get a little more, and then this is like the big one where it's like a lot going on, and then the last one is a bit of a palate cleanser. It'll be, I don't know how much, you know, I don't know how long we'll go on it, but it's a good palate cleanser. Like, throw this in, you know, get a laugh or two, and then we can go on with our lives. So this one in my phone is titled Cops Hit My. And I think probably I just forgot to write the rest of it, but I knew what I was talking about just based from that. And I think it's better that we don't reveal exactly what this is until we watch it. But let's just say, speaking of schizophrenia, by the way, let's say there's a guy in Murray, Kentucky, and this guy has a theory that there's some strange things going on in Murray, Kentucky. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so the caption of this video is, "Cops in Murray, Kentucky hit me with satellite weapons in the groin area so hard they burned my shorts."
Okay, targeted people, look what I have to deal with. These cops, well, every time I hook up with a girl or something, these cops, they go ape shit, trying to hit me in the nuts, hit me in the butthole, like inside the butthole, like up in the butthole, and they go through my leg from the side if they have to come in that way to hit me in the dick and the balls area. Well, look what these assholes did to my shorts. These are the shorts I had on last night. I slept in these. That's not jizz stains or nothing like that. This is where they have gone through and hit me in through the hip in the legs, and you can almost see where one dude looks like he's almost sitting at a computer. You can see a silhouette in this. You can see their silhouettes in the way they've burned themselves into my stuff. But they have burned with that damn EMF shit all the way through to hit me in the balls and dick. Same thing over here. Come through the hip down to hit me in the nuts and dick. Look at this.
All right, we get it. I think he just repeats that over.
Okay,
and over again.
I that broke my brain. I can't even get a sentence out right now. I literally have lost brain cells, but hang on. I'm glad that you extended the caption. Let me read the caption out loud.
Please do.
You can't make this up, folks. Only in Murray, Kentucky do you find sissy cops using commuters falling in love with victims. They want to punish them using satellite weapons when they feel like they are being cheated on. And I don't even know the weirdos. They used to text my girlfriend using my own number saying I wanted to break up. They were so jealous and obsessed. The sad thing is, I turn all this in and nobody does anything to them. They already been caught around here before doing the same exact thing, and it made the news. At work, at Dateline NBC, at 60 Minutes, at TargetedJustice.com, at Gangsta Stalk and Explained, at CNN, at Fox News America, at BBC News, at Associated Press, at Gangs Talked. Literally what the actual... I literally can't come up with a single sentence in response to this video.
So, while you're trying to formulate anything constructive to say, while your brain's sort of processing and recovering here, the video is basically just like a continuous pan, like close up, pan, back up, zoom out of a pair of black shorts with like some kind of stain or like burn on them. Like they've got something going on. Now he does specify these are not jizz stains. So don't you dare accuse him of having jizz stains on this and completely making up the fact that police officers in a small Kentucky town are not using satellite weapons to burn him specifically in his dick and butthole area. You better not say that that's not happening because we don't know that for sure. We have to take C. Kraus 14 at his word. Because why would he lie about this? Think about that. Why would he lie? You know, and he's already said it's made the news, so people know about it. They're trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Now, here's an interesting question. Why do you think the cops in Murray, Kentucky are harassing him every time he gets laid? Why do they hate him so much that they don't want him to find love? What's the reason there?
I couldn't even begin to guess. I couldn't even begin.
It could be so many different things. Another question. How exactly did the police department of a small Kentucky town gain access to like government satellites? And even a further question, does the government have satellites that are so powerful that they can send heat rays into Earth and are so accurate in those heat rays that they can pinpoint his exact dick and ball location at any given time in Murray, Kentucky? That's what we're meant to believe here, is that these cops are like they have like a whole task force and like, you know, like an alarm's going off, you know, radars going crazy, flashing red lights, sirens, like emergency, emergency, emergency. This is not a drill. C. Kraus 14 is with another woman in bed right now. We have to act fast. And they're like,
and then,
all right.
like, they have like a Game Boy controller, like a PS4 controller, like on a screen, like literally like beep beep boop boop beep boop boop.
Dick and balls located.
Yeah.
Send it in through the hip.
Permission to fire, sir. Wait, what is it they say in James Bond where it's like, fuck, what do they say? Clear shot or clean shot or something like that. I can't think of it, but yeah, you know.
Target executed.
Yeah, agent down.
Yeah, and then like it's like a, you know, it's like Apollo 13. Like they're all like in there, and like there's a team full of scientists just cracking away at computers, and they're like, locked in on target, sir. Permission to fire. fire. You know, they got the PS4 controller. You know, they fire it in, and then it's perfect shot, sir. It went right through his butthole. Everyone's like, yeah! Everyone gets up. Everyone's crying. They're cheering. Everyone's hugging each other. Like they just landed on the moon. Like, we did it. Let's go.
Oh, my God. That was hilarious.
Is that what happened? Probably, right? I mean, that seems like...
Obviously, yeah.
I mean, like, why would he lie? Why would he lie about that? And explain those stains. And they're not jizz stains. You better not fucking say they're jizz stains. They're not. He specifically said they are not. So what is the other plausible explanation? Well, it's got to be those crooked bastard cops in Murray, Kentucky. God, you'd think they had more important things to do, but nope. Seacrow's 14. They got him again. And Seacrow's 14, you know, he's gotta wake up the next morning with burn stains on his pants and, you know, like a fiery sensation around his butthole, and he's like, those bastards, they did it again. Not again.
Oh my God. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
I have no further comment.
There's not really much you can say.
Yeah.
Second top comment here from Tay Tay. I've been saying this.
Third comment. I believe you.
That's probably like the most harmful thing that you could say or do, is be like, oh dude, 100%, like I believe you, because that's just gonna make him be like, see, I'm not the only one. And then Marcus Pork Sr. right here, this happened to me.
This happened to me, man. It happened to me.
Oh my God.
I've been saying this. Yeah, the comments are always better.
Bro, what? He responds, it's just nuts. It's
just nuts, man. It's nuts.
There's something just so funny about him, like, reading that comment and just being like, so earnestly just being like, yeah, can you believe this? Like, this is, I can't believe, like, this is crazy. Like, earnestly being like, dude, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why they're targeting me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
God
my
bless
God.
him. Good luck out there, man.
God bless you, man. You know, if there's any undergarment manufacturers out there, maybe Skims. I know they just got into the male underwear business. If there's anybody out there who could assist Seacrow's 14 with some anti-satellite weapon undergarments to protect himself and his shorts, I think that would be greatly appreciated by not only him, but us at the Leen Show in our community. Because, I mean, it's nuts that this is happening to this guy. Like, what did he do? What did he do to piss off those crooked cops who I guess have a connection with NASA? I guess the Murray, Kentucky Police Department made some deal with NASA where they're like, we got a real problem out here. I know we're a small town, but there's a guy over here and he's just sleeping with women left and right. He's getting girlfriends. He's getting girlfriends like no other. And that's got to come to a stop. What do we do? NASA's like, I got the perfect thing. I got you. Mm-hmm. And also, you know, maybe this is a lesson to you guys out there, where if you think having a girlfriend is cool, if you think sleeping with women is cool, think again. Look at the consequences of this guy. This guy's just sleeping around like he's the town whore. And the Kentucky Police Department, Murray, Kentucky Police Department said, no thank you. Not in our town. We got to bring out the big guns.
Not all here.
Not out here.
Nope. Not all heroes wear capes. So, I would also love to know, like, what news this made. Like, what is he talking about? Should I just Google it really quick? Like, I just as an ender right here, like, sure. You're not gonna find anything. You're not gonna find anything. The government does their job very well. They will have cleaned that shit up. There's not gonna be any record.
Hold on, actually, let me go to DuckDuckGo because the government can't suppress that. Here we go. We go on DuckDuckGo real quick. you're gonna be shocked to hear this, but I cannot find anything about targeted satellite attacks in Murray, Kentucky.
I'm not shocked. They're keeping that shit under wraps. We won't know about it for another decade. The case is not going to be open for the records will not be released. But thank you, Seacross14, for bringing this to our attention. We will continue to monitor the situation. We will warn others that enjoy the physical touch of a woman every now and then. And thank you for alerting us to this dire issue.
If you ever needed more proof that the government wants you to be gay, look no further. They hate heterosexuality. They hate it so much they're willing to shoot you in the butthole with satellites if you even think about laying in bed next to a woman, next to somebody of the opposite gender. And I think that's the message here, and I think we'll conclude on that. Be careful out there, guys. It could happen to you. Like, imagine like a PSA where he's like, "Oh, you think the government won't shoot you with satellites in your butthole? Think again." And he's like holding up his shorts. It's like, "My name's Seacross14, and it happened to me."
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening. If you're
fun episode,
I think this is a very fun episode. We touched on a lot of different things. You know, the rapid fire. I'm going to bring this back at some point again once I have enough that won't necessarily. I mean, have enough content. I mean, I think this probably could be a full episode. I just wish there was like, you know, more cases of the satellite weapon attacks.
Yeah.
You know, because in journalism you need to have at least two sources. This is more of like, keep your eye on this, right? This could be a big story later on in the year. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. We are on Instagram and TikTok at The Leen Show. We post clips from our episodes there, and we let you know when the new episodes are posted. So check us out. We're on YouTube, The Leen Show. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. And we're on Spotify as well. If you're listening on Spotify, thanks for listening. Consider giving us a 5-star review if you haven't already. And thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their single Way Down off their released album. Check them out on Spotify, Glazed Eyes. And I think that's it. Kathleen, any final thoughts?
No, happy May, everybody. See you guys next time.
Absolutely. We're recording on Cinco de Mayo, so, you know, drink some tequila.
Go get a margarita.
Absolutely. So you guys have fun. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Have a great one.